Even though the Phillies have been dominating all postseason long, they might have a massive problem on their hands, and they got to act fast. Same with the Texas Rangers, and a lot of people are blaming the manager, Bruce Bochy, for the shortcomings of the Rangers over the last few days. And finally, we have an update on Mickey Mantle. Stay tuned for that. All of that in today's MLB Recap. And just a reminder, Recap is presented by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And also right now in Underdog Fantasy, if you use code Fuzzy when you download the app, they will match your first deposit up to $500. So it's basically free money. Don't miss out. All right, let's talk about game number 1 from yesterday. The Phillies at the Diamondbacks. Man, Chase Field was rocking yesterday. Rookie Brandon Pfaadt and Ranger Suarez, they were locked in for a sick pitchers duel in game number 3 of the NLCS. I thought maybe, just maybe, Brandon Pfaadt might go 3, maybe 4 innings, but he said, F that, I'm going to keep pumping strikes. He ended up with 9 punch outs over 5 2/3, but he was taken out because a computer told the manager of Arizona, I think his name is Tony Lavello, something like that. The analytics stated that Brandon Pfaadt would basically get shelled once he faced the Phillies for a 3rd time. So once Kyle Schwarber came up, he said, no, I'm going to take him out. Now listen, I love analytics, and maybe that was the right move, but Brandon Pfaadt was only at 70 pitches. But again, going through the 3rd time of an order, I guess that's scary. Ranger Suarez, he matched Arizona's rookie pitch for pitch, nearly throwing 6 shutout on his own. He struck out 7 snakes, only allowed 3 base hits. Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler, they're going to get all the shine because they're the big dogs and the workhorses. But Suarez, this kid has been unreal. Since last year, he has a 0.94 ERA and almost 29 postseason innings. He got some huge help from Bryson to avoid any damage in the 6th, and the score, it stayed knotted up at 0-0 after 6 frames. The 2-time MVP, Bryce Harper, he was walked in the 7th, and the reason why he was walked is because after he gets up, no one really is contributing in the bottom half of that lineup. We'll talk about that in a second. He scores on a wild pitch. Tommy Pham, he got on with a single in the 7th inning, and then Alec Thomas, he was used as a pinch runner, and Thomas, he can fly. He showed off the wheels by scoring from first on that game-tying double from Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Whoever scores next, they're going to win, and Trey, he saves it with a throw to home in the very last inning with Craig Kimbrell on the bump. He nabs Lourdes in the 9th inning. Arizona, they still ended up loading the bases against Craig Kimbrell, who looked awful, to be honest with you guys. That is a walk-off. Ketel Marte, he's been with the Diamondbacks for as long as I can remember. I'm happy for him. He walks off the Phillies in game number 3. So let's talk about that game 4 matchup before we talk about the big issue that the Phillies might have. This is game number 4 of the NLCS. We have rookie Christopher Sanchez facing off against an opener. Reliever Joe Mantiply will be starting for the Diamondbacks. Now, Christopher Sanchez, he had a great rookie season, except for when he faced the Diamondbacks. They absolutely rocked him. Joe Mantiply, he's been rocked against the Phillies hitters. So honestly, I would say the Phillies have the advantage just because their lineup has been pretty good all season long, and they've been a great team for the last 80 games of the 2023 season, but not everyone has been good this postseason. If we take a look at Alec Bohm over the last few off seasons, dating back to 2022, Alec Bohm has 1 home run with a 211 batting average and a 627 OPS. Alec Bohm is the number 4 hitter for the Phillies. He's the protection for Bryce Harper. That's why Bryce Harper has been getting walked a lot and not getting a lot of pitches inside the zone, because clearly they're just going to avoid Bryce Harper at all times. They're going to go to Alec Bohm. They're going to go to Bryson Stott. He's my friend. He had that clutch grand slam a few games ago, but he has a 173 batting average and a 534 OPS dating back to last year's playoffs. So Alec Bohm and Bryson Stott, they're not getting it done. And then Nick Castellanos, the reason why he's hitting 6th or 7th is because they're trying to stretch out that lineup and not have all of their top guys 1 through 5, and I guess that makes sense. But then you have an actual free out lately in Johan Rojas, the rookie. He is 2 for 32. That is 2 base hits and 32 at bats. He is hitting .063 with a 185 OPS. I don't know if they're going to go to Christian Pache. Pache hasn't been very good. Maybe they go to a veteran like Jake Cave and then use Johan Rojas as a late game replacement, but they got to figure something out quick because Bryce Harper, he's just going to get the Barry Bonds or the Josh Hamilton treatment. He's just going to get walked every single time or get pitches way outside the zone. And even though he's Bryce Harper, one of the most patient hitters in baseball, when you're Bryce Harper, you want to try and, put the team on your back, especially when it matters the most. And the guys behind Bryce Harper are not coming up clutch. Now let's move on to game number 4 of the ALCS. The Astros at the Rangers. In the blink of an eye, Rangers fans, they felt the pain of Yankees fans. You guys remember when Andrew Heaney was in pinstripes? He was one of the worst starting pitchers I had ever seen. Now luckily he found success in LA and he got a bunch of money after pretty much breaking out for the Dodgers, but he is regressing yet again as a Ranger. 2 scored on that Bregman 3-bagger, and Jordan, he has been a run producing machine. It doesn't matter if it's a home run, a single, or scoring on a wild pitch. Now Texas, Texas, they fought back though, as Garcia, he pimped one to outer space, and after a sac fly from Josh Young, Corey Seager, he tied it on an oppo taco. Unfortunately, that just seemed to anger the Astros. They turned on the aimbot yet again. They grabbed the lead back on a Jordan sac fly, and it was all downhill from there. Jose Abreu, speaking of aimbots, he has been out of his mind. He's turned on the aimbots and all the MW2 cheats from back in the day in a modded lobby. 440 feet, a perfect 3-run moonshot. He's got 4 home runs and 11 RBIs in 8 games this postseason. Now, you got to give a massive shout out to the rookie Hunter Brown, who went 3 shutout innings in relief. He saved the Astros bullpen. He held the Rangers in check as Houston's offense woke up. Chas McCormick, he ran into a barrel as well. That is a 2-run home run to score Jose Abreu. And check out this play from Jose Altuve. He went full-blown Derek Jeter on this play. He looked like all of us in our backyards when we're playing with our friends as kids. Jordan, he drove in his 3rd RBI of the night. He has 16 RBIs over his last 9 postseason games dating back to last year's World Series. So this series is tied 2-2, and Houston, again, they've turned the cheats back on. Obviously, I'm being facetious and I'm joking. I do not think that the Astros are doing anything nefarious. They're just so good when it matters the most. Now, the Rangers also have a big problem on their hands, and it might be Bruce Bochy, one of the best managers of all time. I think that he's getting scapegoated right now by angry Rangers fans, and you have to deflect somehow, but a lot of Rangers fans are saying that Bruce Bochy, the reason why the bullpen was so bad over the course of 2023, not because the talent is bad per se, but Bruce Bochy did not use them correctly. Now listen, as a Guardians fan, I can relate to that because Terry Francona, I can't take anything away from Tito and all of his career accomplishments, but 2023 was an awful year for Terry Francona. It's almost a good thing that he's leaving the game of baseball because I don't know if analytics are catching up to him and he's relying too much on instincts or whatever it was, but Bruce Bochy, the matchups are not really favoring him in this series, at least the last 2 games. So if you're a Rangers fan or just a casual fan, what's going on with Texas over the last few games? On paper, game number 5 looks like a pretty close matchup. We have Justin Verlander versus Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery, he has been absolutely dialed in the postseason. Justin Verlander, on the other hand, he went from not being very good in the postseason to being lights out over the last few postseasons. Against the current Texas Rangers roster, he's striking out guys nearly 25% of the time, holding them to a .241 batting average. On the other side, Montgomery, he's striking out 21% of the Astros hitters that he's facing, and he's holding them to a .257 average. So for me, again, this is kind of a crapshoot. I would not put any money on this game. Now, before we talk about Mickey Mantle, because today is his birthday, let's do today's Immaculate Grid. Wait, can I use Mickey Mantle on this Immaculate Grid? So we have Mickey Mantle for a 1-team guy, right? Yeah, 8%. There we go. Mickey Mantle, he was only on the Yankees for his career. 1 team, I'm almost 99% sure that Bob Feller only played for Cleveland, 22%, which is my favorite number, and Bob Feller is one of my favorite pitchers. Look at that. The Nationals and 1 team. I mean, it's not Andre Dawson. Zimmerman. Did Ryan Zimmerman play his entire career? Okay, that was a lot of rarity score. My goodness. I don't think that Garrett Cole had a sub 3. I think it was like 3.1 or something like that. Or wait, this year he did actually. Garrett Cole was under 3 this year. We have a sub 3 season for the Cleveland Guardians. We have Cliff Lee. I think that CC Sabathia did that. Corey Kluber. I'm going to go with Klubot. So I know that he did that back in the day. Just because he's no longer in baseball anymore, I'm pretty sure that Steven Strasburg did that back in the day. Yes, he did. A Twin and a Yankee, my friend, Joey Gallo. A Twin and a Guardian, we have Eddie Rosario. This was actually one of the easier Immaculate Grids I've ever done. And then we have a Twin and a National. Did I just speak too soon? Cruz. Nelson Cruz. There we go. It's pretty easy. Now, here's the update on Mickey Mantle. October 20th is Mickey Mantle's birthday, and apparently they're trying to celebrate by basically auctioning off his childhood home, but they're splitting up his home into 47,000 shares of Mickey Mantle childhood home pieces. I mean, 2023 is getting weird with like the whole cryptocurrency and splitting up Pokemon cards into a bajillion fractional shares of stock essentially. So there's the update. Mickey Mantle, if you want a piece of his childhood home, you can buy some of that for $7. This is not a sponsored post, but yeah, 2023, it's wacky. But that does it for today's MLB recap. I appreciate you guys watching all the way until the end, and if you did, do me a favor, leave a like, click that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.